Oh, we got Moran up here. Moran want to explain this prophecy to us. You can up here to explain this prophecy to us. You listen here?
All right. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this night. I'm so excited, brother. Thank you so much for having me. Shabbat shalom, everybody. I sprained my wrist. Okay.
He gonna give us some wisdom on verse 26.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I want to look at Deuteronomy 33:26. So let's look at some other verses that are going to echo what it's saying here, where it's saying that we are going to fly, that God is going to fly through the sky. So
it doesn't say he's going to fly through the sky.
Isaiah 19:1.
Go ahead, read it.
You want me to pull it up?
Let me pull it. I'll pull it up for you. Isaiah 19:1. Hold on, where we at? Where's Isaiah? Did I just pass it? Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. An oracle concerning Egypt. Behold, the Lord is riding on a swift cloud and comes to Egypt, and the idols of Egypt will tremble at his presence, and the heart of the Egyptians will melt within them.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So there's one example. Okay. Now go to Isaiah 9:2. Isaiah 9:2.
The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has the light shone.
Okay. And then Psalms 68:4.
Bro, I got the whole precept package up. Psalm 60. Psalm 68:4.
Okay.
Shooting from ambush at the blameless, shooting at him suddenly and without fear. Wrong? Did I read the wrong thing?
Psalm 68:4.
68:4. All right, my bad. My bad. Psalm 68:4. Sing to God, sing praise to his name. Lift up a song to him who rides through the deserts. His name is the Lord. Exalt before him.
That's interesting. Because the translation there, I think it's different from some of the other ones. Because if you look at, like, for example, KJV, it says, extol him that rides upon the heavens in his name. And it says Yah. It says Yah in that verse.
Okay, all right, 665. The 60. Sing unto God, sing praise to his name. Exalt him that rideth upon the skies, whose name is the Lord. Exalt ye before him. Right, so I changed translations. So.
Okay, cool. All right, perfect. So you see this idea of God flying through the sky in a number of verses outside of Deuteronomy 33:26. The last one I want to look at is Isaiah 27:13.
Isaiah 27:13. Let's see. Isaiah 27:13, and it says, "It shall come to pass in that day that a great horn shall be blown, and they shall come that were lost in the land of Assyria, that they were dispersed in the land of Egypt, and they shall worship the Lord in the holy mountain at Jerusalem."
Okay. And you also see similar kind of language in Ezekiel, right? About they have blown when the watchman hears the sound of the trumpet, right? Ezekiel 33:5. Okay. So I just did a video. It's on my channel, episode 3 of my podcast, where I talk about Yah's true calendar. And y'all, according to that calendar that I have, the true Feast of Trumpets for the year of 2024 was on September 10th, 2024. And so now I just sent you a link, and I'm going to submit now that what you're going to play for the audience, not the beginning part where they show the nonsense SpaceX part, but when they show the light, that light is the fulfillment of the verses that we just read. And it's the sign that he's coming to regather the children of Israel. And you think about, because I was actually thinking about your episode yesterday about Issachar and the appointed times. So we can we can dedicate this segment of Torah After Dark to the tribe of Issachar as we ponder these things.
And you saying this what we about to watch is a fulfillment of
And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you some things. Let's watch it together first, because they, there's a lot of truth in what they're going to say themselves, but I'll point it out as well.
You're funny. All right, let's do. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
3, 2, 1. Ignition.
That was earlier this morning as SpaceX set up its newest commercial venture with 4 astronauts. The Polaris Dawn blasted off this morning just after 5 a.m. And this mission will test out the SpaceX Dragon Resilient spacecraft, conduct a commercial spacewalk, and demonstrate a Starlink satellite over its 5-day operation. And maybe you saw it this morning. Blast off about 5:23 this morning. And some folks actually saw what you're looking at right now on the screen. And some of these videos this one I believe is from the Frederick area this morning.
Wow.
Actually, this one was from Fairfax City. So I had another one from Frederick. Saw some pictures online right over the Capitol in D.C.
It's really remarkable video.
Yeah, and honestly, and the contrast on some of them was really, really bright. So I'm kind of bummed. I was watching it launch this morning on a TV screen here, and I wish I would have looked
up.
gone up to the
rooftops. I missed it too, Steve.
But I think to me it's pretty rare, Tuck, when something that launches from Florida that you could be see here.
It's astonishing. It's incredible. I had viewers send me messages. They were on the Beltway and saw how bright it was.
Yeah. You can hear it.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. You notice what they said. You notice what they said, though.
I thought maybe.
What?
About how? Why would you see of a SpaceX launch from Florida over DC, right? People go and they watch SpaceX launches locally. They said, if I had known, I would have gone outside. He says, I think it's pretty rare, Tuck. If you keep playing it, that's all I wanted to point out. Listen to what he's saying himself.
It's pretty rare, Tuck, when something that launches from Florida that you could be see here.
It's astonishing. It's incredible. I had viewers send me messages. They were on the Beltway and saw how bright it was.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
I had to double check. I thought maybe did they launch it from Wallops, but no, this one came out of Florida.
Incredible. I don't know if it was in a lower orbit. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, pretty fascinating though.
It is.
Yeah, cool
I have
stuff.
to keep an eye out next time.
Hey, one more reason to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You don't know what you're going to miss in life. Right?
And then you can watch us right after.
Yeah, exactly.
One stop.
You can turn us on and say,
All right. So you saying that's God riding on the cloud? That was your argument is?
I'm saying that's the fulfillment right now. So that's the fulfillment that's letting us know that. Again, so I don't want to say the captivity is over, because it's not. I think it's actually gonna get worse with the time of Jacob's trouble, just like Egypt the first time. But I think what it's saying is it's time for Genesis 15:14. It's the trigger, and I think about the language about Ezekiel 33:5. He who hears the sound of the trumpet and doesn't take warning, his blood is on his own head. Now, I added some additional photos of this.
15:14.
It's 15:14, yeah. That after that, the nation that did these things will I judge. And the nation that did the things that are stated in Genesis 15:13 is America.
Oh, this goes back to the 400-year prophecy.
Yeah, we're gonna go. So that's the same stuff. But listen, so look, they're gonna pretend it's SpaceX, okay, which is fine. I put a couple extra videos right now that you can play. That these are videos that I found of the same thing. And what I want to emphasize to everyone is notice that the light appears in the sky out of the blue, and then it heads down towards Earth. Okay, and I'm going to share a video of a SpaceX launch that this was from a couple weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago. And I want you to notice the noticeable difference of this one compared to what we just saw.
And
So that's an image over. So look, that's an image over DC. How would we see this, right? And look at this beautiful shot.
You wholeheartedly believe this is a fulfillment of God.
100%. Yeah, but let's look. We shouldn't listen to me. Look at that. See, look, it comes out of the sky, out of the blue. No tail, and notice where it heads. Notice it heads down towards Earth, and it even looks like it drops something off. Watch this. Okay, now, fine. There's another video now. Let's see the same thing. I just want to point out that it shows up in the middle of the sky, out of the blue. You missed it. You got to rewind, I think. That one came fast. Okay, see, look. So now this is a normal SpaceX rocket launch. And I want to demonstrate the noticeable tail that it has, which clearly is missing from all the footage we just saw of this event on September 10th, 2024. And again, like, if you want to understand why I believe that's the true Feast of Trumpets, why I believe Thursday is the Sabbath day, watch episode 3. I walk through it in detail. But I'm telling you, I was waiting for this light. I was waiting for it, Gadal. It was the one thing that I was waiting for, because I felt like, there's a number of things, New Testament plagiarizes the prophecy in Matthew 24:30 and Mark 13:26, the sign of the Son of Man appearing in the heavens. But I was waiting for this light, and this is what confirmed the calendar.
How you know it's this light and not any other light that you will see?
Well, so again, when you say not any other light, so when all I would say is,
because you have stuff light flying through the thing all the time, shooting stars, all that. Like,
yeah, so this was very unique, and I have a lot of footage of it, and I think you saw
what makes it unique though.
In the newscast, what they said about how bright it was, right? How bright it was, and again, how it was seen. A SpaceX launch out of Florida won't be seen going across the east coast of America. It's impossible.
And you wholeheartedly believe that.
It's not that so I just want to think about things that everyone can attest to. Like, for example, Cape Canaveral. Cape Canaveral is a destination for people because people go to Cape Canaveral to watch rocket launches. If I could see a rocket launch outside anytime, you wouldn't see that necessity to travel to a location to watch the rocket launch.
Yeah. Like, I'm not even gonna argue with you about this one. Like, if this is your,
it's a lot of information. I know you got to study the calendar and all this stuff.
If this is what you feel and that's what you, hey,
I want to put it out there for everyone. And fulfillment of prophecy.
With this light, what happens next?
So I believe that announces the 7-year judgment on America.
So the light started the 7-year judgment.
Well, so just like the flood, the judgment's announced, and you have 7 days. So I believe the judgment technically started on September 17th, 2024. And you notice it's right after that. It's right after that you had the hurricane come through and destroy Asheville. Right after that.
So, and you believe the 7 years ends when?
So here I can. I have a thing where I can actually share this for you, so you guys can look at it. Now, this comes from Baruch.
I'm gonna be paying attention. What happens when this time period comes and nothing happens?
Well, so my friends always ask me that, and I laugh because I get it. I get having the doubt. I totally understand. But the way when people phrase that to me, it's like they're saying to me, what happens if the word of the Most High isn't true? And so I struggle with that. Now, I understand that my understanding of the timeline could be off. And again, the book of Baruch, I understand that, we have no way to know whether what I'm looking at with this is accurate, what was written. But I do think it's interesting because it does line up, and I just find it's interesting.
Do,
So let me pull this up. Let me share this if I can
do you
get this
know
to work.
it's been people, especially Christians, that have been saying the rapture was going to happen and all that stuff. It's people like that in every walk of life that feel like they know the rapture is coming, or Jesus coming back, or God's coming back. What makes you any different than any of those?
Well, so it's interesting you say that, because according to the New Testament, right, no man knows the time. That's what New Testament teaches us, right? And so I disagree with that, because I think Amos 3:7 tells us the opposite. Okay, Amos 3:7 tells us something very different. Okay,
I don't know, man. Look, bro.
hold on, Amos. Can we pull up Amos 3:7? Can we pull it up? Can we pull up Amos 3:7? Because I'm
You got
saying,
it all.
now again, it doesn't mean.
Let me ask you this question: is this your first time, or your first time predicting a date?
Predicting a date. I mean, I said Trump would become king by this September, which I feel he's already king.
No,
I
I'm
know for a
talking
while.
about this topic. Is this your
About
first?
this topic, I would say,
So, like, you never had a different point of view that you had
with
to
my
update?
well, no. So yeah, no. So I would say, like, when I first woke up, I mean, I was in New Testament nonsense. So no, absolutely, this is not my initial understanding. But here, I just added it. If you put that up, people,
Oh,
this is coming from Baruch,
this
and if
again.
and this is, so you notice the start date, I have 9/10/20
I just want you to
2024.
know this is on record. So when
I know.
these
Yes, I know.
time periods come,
I know. Yes. Yes. And I have
all
another. I
right.
haven't. Now this is just a theory, though. Okay. When you watch that video and you see it come down, and it keeps heading down, and it drops something off. I've been pondering, could that be Elijah? Because Elijah comes first, and Elijah is going to raise David. Now, the one thing that bothers me about it is it doesn't say Elijah is going to fly through the sky. It says God is going to fly through the sky. But maybe that's God flying with Elijah, dropping Elijah off. I don't know. I just know that Elijah comes first, and then he's going to raise David. David is the almond branch. David is the rod of Aaron.
Why do you think this is going to happen in your lifetime or in our lifetime?
Well, so first of all, I don't think it's a coincidence that, first of all, people like me are starting to have this understanding of the scriptures. Also,
Is more people that have this understanding you have?
No, I'm just talking about, like, that, for example, like who the true chosen people of God are, right? And the things about the truth in the scriptures about, who the true chosen people are, the truth about the captivity of Deuteronomy 28:68, the truth about what Esau Edom is, right? These things, I feel like this is the latter rain. Like, how could I, even putting the calendar down, you look at Lamentations 2:6, like, for me to be able to put the calendar down, that would imply.
This is all just your feel. How
When you
you
say that, that's
feel
my feel. All I would
in
say is,
your interpretation.
can I just share my screen for 1 second? Just 1 second. I just want one.
But
1
can you
second. 1 second.
say yes? This is how you feel, and this is your
No, because
interpretation.
I fundamentally disagree with that. How
What's
I
wrong
felt.
with saying? What's wrong with saying this is how I feel, and this is my interpretation?
Well, so because I think,
There's
like,
nothing wrong with that.
No, there is something wrong with that, because that's not the standard of truth. And see, that's the
I
thing.
know
Like,
it's not the standard of truth, but
how I felt is not relevant to what the truth is. For example, I was an atheist. I was a Freemason. I was a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. That my feelings have no bearing on what the truth is. And so what I would say
but
is, because I don't have the time to walk through everything here, I just started a podcast. The first episode is just an overview where I basically say everything that I'm saying here, where we are in stream of time. And then the second and third episode, I walk through in detail how I was able to put down the calendar of the Most High. And I use verses to show This
Why do you
is
call
what
it
it
the
says,
calendar? Why do you call it the calendar of the Most High?
because it's his calendar.
He gave you that, or did you create it?
No, he gave it to me. I didn't even understand it when he gave it to me. I wanted to throw it in the trash. I say because so I use the moon to put it
how
down.
did he give it to you? How did he give it to you?
Okay, so when I realized that Seventh-day Adventism was a lie, that really solidified to me that it's impossible that the Sabbath is on Saturday.
But how did he give it to you though?
Okay, so the way that he gave it to me was, you can get the structure of the calendar very clearly from Enoch Jubilees, right? 364 days. So you can put the calendar down, like the template of the calendar. Anybody can put that down very easily. I don't think
So he
that's
didn't. So he
difficult.
didn't give it to you. You got it from the Jubilee.
I got that from Enoch. Yeah. What he gave to me was how to take that template of his calendar and put it on Pharaoh's calendar.
And how did he give you that? That's what I'm asking.
He showed me that the way to identify.
Like in a dream, in a vision. Like that's what I'm asking you.
No,
How?
I was pondering it so my friend was trying to mark the spring equinox, because obviously spring equinox is really important. But my theory was, it can't be based off of being able to determine 12 days of light, 12 days of darkness. That's not something ordinary people can do. Also, based on my geographic location, that stuff changes, right? The Most High, if he's going to give us something, it's going to be something that we can do on our own without relying on man, without relying on NASA, without relying on Pharaoh. And so, like, this idea, like there's a spring equinox date.
So you were thinking, sitting down, and a thought came to you, and you believed that was God giving it to you.
No. So I had a doubt about the spring equinoxes. And so I was trying to figure out how we could place the spring equinox with a way. There had to be a way that we could place the spring equinox using something that I could do on my own without having crazy tools or instruments. And he showed me the verses in Enoch.
But I'm keep asking you how he showed you. You keep saying he showed you.
So
I'm
this is what I'm saying.
understand.
This is how it works. This is how I feel it works when I ponder things. So I sit with things, and he brings me to verses. As you've said on this channel before, you open a book and he'll take you to something that he wants you to see, right? And so he showed me the verses in Enoch that allow you to determine the full moon.
So you believe when you sit with your Bible and you get a verse in your mind and you go to it, you believe that's God leading you.
It depends. I mean, so this is what I would say was happening. So I was still at this point when I put this calendar down, I was still under the New Testament deception, but I had realized that Good Friday to Easter Sunday makes absolutely no sense. Like
Stephen in the chat, all praise to the Most High for Stephen. Shalom, shalom.
If you believe the words of God, right? In Matthew 24:30, it says
Ron is trying to convince us he believes prophecy is being fulfilled, and he explained to us this light and stuff. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
All glory to the Most High. Hallelujah.
You're an interesting person, man. I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Hey, man, but if that's what you feel, and
I just wanted to share it. Listen, people got to go study it and think about it. But I'm telling you, there's no way that was SpaceX. And I'm gonna have an episode very soon on my podcast where I focus on this light.
Let's say, what if it wasn't SpaceX? Why do you jump to the conclusion that it's God flying through the air?
Well, so I don't believe the year of 1619 because it's given to us by man, right? But we are in the vicinity of 400 years, Genesis 15:13. I think that's it does, and I think we've had this discussion and you dismiss it, but this idea that the children of Israel were afflicted for 400 years in Egypt is a lie.
Joseph says
designed to hide it.
Joseph says he was in the land of his affliction.
Again, that's fine, but Joseph was afflicted. I'm not disagreeing with that. The children of Israel weren't afflicted until Joseph dies and the new Pharaoh comes up.
No, that's when they went.
This is the thing. I want to point something out.
You keep saying
Everybody's
that.
eyes.
That's when they went into
eh,
slavery, bro. That's not
No, so again, but that's the affliction. Before that, there's a
no.
lot of verses that make it very clear. I came on Smoke Friday. Anyone can go back and watch it. They mourn Joseph's death. They mourn
That doesn't
Jacob.
mean they
They,
weren't afflicted. You
yeah,
keep
okay, yeah.
Joseph was living
Here, I
good
want to
at
show
the
you.
top.
Here's so here.
Joseph was living
Here's a
good at the top of at the top of Egypt, having great
okay,
life. He still
and
was in
so
the land of his affliction.
again, so he was afflicted because he was in prison. He was thrown in prison. You're
Was
conflating
he
two
in
things. But
slavery?
so again, you're falling
Was he in
into.
slavery?
You're fall again, but that's
Answer
not
that
what the
question though.
prophecy says, brother.
No,
That's not
no,
what the prophecy says. It
just
says
answer
the
that question.
children of
Hold on.
Israel,
I'm
not
not
one
arguing that. I'm
Israelite.
not arguing
Yes,
that.
he
I'm
was. He
asking,
was in. He
was
was
he
in
in
slavery. Yeah, he
slavery?
was sold into slavery. I mean, I don't
No,
know.
I'm talking about.
Based on
Oh my God.
how it's described, it doesn't seem like
Joseph
Joseph was
was
treated
not
as a
in
slave by
slavery.
Potiphar.
He was
Yeah,
not in
it doesn't seem
slavery.
like he was treated as a slave.
He wasn't.
It doesn't seem
But
like
he
that. He
was.
was a
The
servant.
point is, he was still afflicted. So I'm telling you, you don't have to be in slavery to be afflicted. So just because they went into hard bondage slavery after Joseph died,
Uh,
doesn't
since
mean before that they weren't afflicted.
Okay, can I ask you a question? When Joseph entered Egypt, what happened to him?
When Joseph right away,
Yeah,
he was in the prison.
he
No,
was sold.
he was
He
sold and he was in
was
Potiphar's house.
he was
And then,
sold to somebody who was his owner.
yeah, that's after him. That's how he got to Egypt, though. You said what happened when he first got into Egypt.
That's when he got first. When they brought him down, they sold him to Potiphar. Right. That's the
Yeah,
first thing. Okay.
yeah.
So
So he was
that
in
to me sounds a
Potiphar's
lot
house.
like slavery. That's all I would say.
He wasn't a slave.
So
You
being
can buy
sold to
people that
somebody and having an owner is not slavery.
no,
Now I agree. The Most High gave him favor, and he was treated
but
very
that's not
well.
slavery though, because you can sell your servants and handmaids, but they're not slaves.
Okay, again, it's not. But the point that I'm making is everyone's eyes are currently on that part of the world, and if you can
Oh,
understand that Genesis 15:13 is here in America, your eyes would be on this part of the world.
for real, that is in fact the most interesting.
Uh, uh,
For real, yo. He got something, man. But look,
yeah, I've been studying, man.
we
Studying the
about to get
scripture.
off. We about to get off
I
in a
know.
little bit because I'm not trying to be here. But
I'm
I gotta
done.
ask you.
No, that's it.
No,
That's all I wanted to
no,
show
I'll
you.
ask you about the Torah portion today. What do you feel about the tribes Naphtali, Asher, Naphtali, Asher, and Dan? Any special wisdom you got about those tribes? We read about how
Okay.
Dan, is the judge. Naphtali is the wise words. They the tribe of the goodly words. Asher is the tribe of the olive oil, the oil. What do you got some wisdom about them, man, before we go
Okay,
off?
so I really think the Naphtali one is really interesting. So
Mhm.
anybody who hasn't seen the movie Leave the World Behind, executive producer and director Barack and Michelle Obama, I would highly recommend watching it because it's going to tell you what I'm telling you, that America is going to be judged for taking your people into
Bro,
slavery. But hold on, hold on.
yeah, I asked
There's
you
a
about.
scene in the movie.
Oh
There's a
my
scene in the
goodness.
movie where these deer appear, okay? And the girl says, "I think they're trying to warn us." And that when it says about Naphtali, Naphtali has wisdom. Naphtali brings the goodly words. It's like a doe, right? It's like a deer. I don't know. I find are they using that in the movie, saying, "Hey, this is us trying to warn you of what's coming." And so, yeah, I had pondered that about Naphtali. The other ones I haven't really pondered, but yeah,
All right, man.
check out "Leave the World
I
Behind,"
got a
guys. It's
question for
fun.
you too. Say you're children of Israel. What tribe do you think you'll be from? If you could pick any, again, it's not the 12 tribes chart, but
Okay.
what tribe do you think you connect more with?
Okay. So yeah, I've been pondering this a lot. Because one of the things that bothers me, who am I, why is God with me, why is he showing me these things, right? Like it
Mm-hmm.
bothers me, it really bothers me. And I've been pondering, like, my dad is cursed like no other, so I've been pondering, like, is it possible that I'm Israelite lineage?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my initial thoughts, my wife picked for our first son, his name is Jasper, and that's the stone for Benjamin. and I don't believe in coincidences. So I pondered that. But I tell you, what you were talking about with Issachar last night, with the because of the stuff that I'm looking at, right? I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Or I mean, it's interesting, man. You get a lot, like when you read this chapter and you read Genesis 49, you just go through it. You get a lot of information about those tribes. So I always go there and say, man, I wonder what tribe I would be from.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
that's
really
why I always wonder about people if they looked into that or if they just thought to connect themselves to a tribe. But that's all I want to ask. Well, Shalom, man. I'm about to get off this. I'm tired.
Yeah, and I would say it's going to be a beautiful day when everyone knows where exactly they are from. Hallelujah, brother.
Hallelujah. And tomorrow is Smoke Friday. So, and I'm gonna be doing a multi-stream. I'm gonna be live on YouTube and TikTok. So hopefully we can get some more smoke from maybe TikTok or whoever comes through. So look forward to that. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully we get some more smoke. All right. Good seeing you. Good having you up here. All right. All praise to the Most High. We about to close this thing off.